Hi there, my name is Lindsay. I'm from Toodaloo, which is based in County Galway and develops creative learning exploration workshops for young people all over the country. Since the beginning of 2020, those experiences have all migrated online, which means I'm delighted to be able to participate in Wainfest this year. Mini Beasts is a workshop designed for children between around 5 to 10 years of age, and it explores the absolute wonder that is our own back gardens and schoolyards. I think so many of us have been spending time at home or in our schoolyard, but not really going to a lot of the other places that we often enjoy. And so, together with my own two little boys, we have been delving deep into the wonders that lie just outside our own back doors, exploring green spaces and drawing inspiration from them in order to create really interesting art projects, which is exactly what I'm going to talk you through today in this Mini Beasts workshop. We have 3 different art projects: a bug hotel, a butterfly museum, and a butterfly painting. And I'm going to show all of them to you in this video, but then I'm also providing you with a list of instructions that tells you all of the very simple materials that you will need in order to complete the 3 projects, and just to sort of talk you through how to build the 3 different projects or make the 3 different projects. So you can explore them together in your classroom or with your family at home and make some really gorgeous nature-inspired art while also learning a thing or two about biodiversity. We're going to talk about that in a second. Thank you so much to Wainfest for inviting us to get involved in this festival. I hope you really enjoy making the projects. So the first thing that we're going to do is make a bug hotel. It might be a hotel for bees. It might end up that some different kind of bugs move in. Really doesn't matter. Making a hotel where little bugs can find shelter and have a comfortable habitat that's just right for them helps increase something in your backyard called biodiversity. It's a really important thing and something that you can read a lot more about with mom and dad. But biodiversity basically means the huge variety of living things on our planet. And we need to protect it because it's incredibly important. All of the bugs and plants and soil and air and water play a really important part in keeping our planet healthy, even those tiny little bugs that you can spot in your backyard. So when we think about biodiversity, we think about the things that all living creatures need in order to live. And when it comes to building a bug hotel, the little bees and bugs that we're going to be building a habitat for need biodiversity as well. They need plants where they can find pollen, because that's the food that they need to eat. They need shelter from rain and from wind and a place to lay eggs so that more and more bugs and bees can be hatched and live in our back gardens. And a bee hotel is an absolutely perfect habitat for bugs. This is the one that I have made. It's a really simple craft to make that will make a huge difference to the bees in your back garden. It's just an ordinary tin can that some of your groceries might have come in, like bees or tinned tomatoes. You clean it out, take off the label, and then gather sticks from the back garden, some cardboard and paper from the recycling box, and you put them all together in order to make a bug hotel. And we've included all of the instructions to tell you just how to do that. And when it's complete, you can put it out in your back garden and watch for the bees and bugs to move in. Another really beautiful project that we can make is what I call a butterfly museum. This one was inspired by the Museum of Natural History in Dublin, which is a place that I love to visit with my little boys, but we haven't been able to go in ages. So we thought we'd recreate one of the displays that we like best. In the museum, they have real butterflies on display, but I certainly wouldn't want to try to catch a butterfly and put it on display in my house. So instead, I used my drawing skills to make a whole selection of different kinds of butterflies. Some I tried to make look just like the real thing, like this peacock butterfly down here. This fella, well, he's called a common blue. He doesn't look exactly like a common blue butterfly, but I still think he looks nice, and I had fun making it. Then I painted the inside of an old box that I had in my recycling bin to put them on display so that I can have my own little butterfly museum in my own bedroom. That project would work really well for older kids, but if you want to make an even simpler butterfly project, we've included a way to make one of my favorite types of painting projects. It is a folded butterfly painting, and they're so easy to make. I think this one took me about 5 minutes, and we've included all the instructions to tell you how. But what you're going to do is take your big piece of paper, fold it in half so that you see just where the middle point is. Then using little squirts of paint, you put colors of whatever choices you like on one side of the page with some black for the butterfly's body down the middle. And when you fold it over and use your hands to rub the paper, you spread the paint all around so that when you open it up, you get the most fantastic butterfly that you can hang on the wall. And these are so fun to do. You might ask mom and dad or whoever is making art with you to get a few spare pieces of paper, because once you do it once, you're going to want to keep on making more and more, because they're different every time and they're quick and fun, and you can even do that project outside. Then, last but not least, we'll have a printable. And this printable is kind of like a treasure hunt. It shows different creatures that live in your back garden. Some of the butterflies we talked about, ladybirds, which might move into your bug hotel, but also daisies and dandelions and clover. Some of them, the daisies and the dandelions, being the kind of plants that bees and bugs need for the pollen that we talked about. And then, of course, birds who rely on some of the seeds in those flowers, but also the bugs as their source of food. So you can print off this little printable and head out into your back garden or a park or green space near your house and see how many of those different types of wildlife you can find near your home. We're also going to give you a few links that can allow you to expand your knowledge, including a link to the National Biodiversity Data Center, which gives really clear instructions of a fun way that anybody, grown-ups and kids alike, can become citizen scientists, which means that you help scientists who are studying the broad diversity of life here in Ireland by going out into your back garden and counting just how many bugs you can find. And then you can share that information with researchers and become part of a big, huge project that's mapping biodiversity across the whole country. So that brings us to the end of our Mini Bees workshop. I hope you really enjoyed creating these art projects. I have no doubt you've made some really beautiful things to decorate your fridge in your kitchen or your own bedroom, or maybe you have a nana or granddad and you could absolutely brighten their day by sending your art to them to hang on their own fridge or sharing it with a friend, something like that. I hope you've really enjoyed making the projects. I hope you've learned a thing or two about just how important bugs are in our environment. And I hope you keep exploring and keep firing up your inspiration and getting creative. Thanks so much for taking part.